Hey, Clearfield. It is so good to be here with all of you. And I want to just say how grateful Austin and I are that you are here today, joining us at this important Union Hall, at this really important moment for our Commonwealth and for our country. You know, folks ask me a lot, why do you do what you do? Why do you get involved in public service in the first place? So let me begin there in our conversation here today. I'm involved in public service for two fundamental reasons. First is because of my family, and the second is because of my faith. First on family. My wife, Lori, who is with us here today, who's going to be the next First Lady of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Lori and I are blessed with four amazing children. Sophia, who is with us, a student at Penn. H2P. And Jonah, Max, and Ruben. And we look in the eyes of our kids every day and we worry about them. We worry about their futures. We worry about their planet. We worry about their safety. We worry that maybe we brought our children into this world at a time where they have fewer opportunities than the world I was blessed to be born into 49 years ago. And I want you to know that about me. That's part of what motivates me, and it motivates me not just to try and make this world a better place for my children, but for your kids and your grandkids as well. The second reason I do what I do is because of my faith. Now listen, I'm not here to preach at you or tell you what to believe, but you should know what I believe, what motivates me. My scripture teaches me that no one is required to complete the task, but neither are we free to refrain from it. Meaning each of us has a responsibility to get off the sidelines, get in the game, and do our part. So I'm here today, Clearfield County, and I've been here many times before, to look in the eye and tell you I am trying to do my part, and God willing, I'll have the chance to do it as your next governor. When I think about what it means to do your part, I think about creating opportunity for all God's children. I think about making sure we defend our fundamental freedoms, protect our democracy. How do we create opportunity in this Commonwealth? To me, it begins in the public schools of Pennsylvania. And when I am governor, we will fully fund our public schools all across this Commonwealth. We have seen for too long rural and urban schools be chronically underfunded. We will fix that. But Austin and I won't just write a check to our schools. We want to make the kind of change in our schools that gives every kid an opportunity. So when we're in office, we'll finally do away with our reliance on standardized testing. It's not a measurement of how well a kid learns or how well a teacher teaches. And we'll make classroom time for vocational, technical, and computer training again back in our classroom. That's how you create opportunity for the next generation. We know our kids are struggling, so we will put a mental health counselor in every single school building across our Commonwealth. Our kids deserve to be healthy and safe. And speaking of safety, we have a responsibility to make sure that every neighborhood across Pennsylvania is safe. People have a right to be safe and feel safe. And so when I'm governor, we will hire more police. And we'll make sure they're properly trained. And we'll make sure they work with the community to bring about the kind of safety that you all should be guaranteed here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Good schools, safe communities. And then we need an economy that's going to lift everybody up and a focus on cutting costs for those who are most in need. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. In terms of lifting up the economy, it's finally time for us to raise our minimum wage to $15 an hour. We'll protect the union way of life. As long as I'm governor, this will never be a right-to-work state. Never. We'll invest in union apprenticeship programs so that 10th grader that we gave VOTEC to that learned how to be a welder and wants to pursue a career in that will have the opportunity to get into a union apprenticeship program. We know that union apprentices here in Pennsylvania earn 30% more over their lifetime. It's a guaranteed ticket to success. We've got to make those investments. We've got to make sure you should clap for union apprenticeship programs. got to give everybody a foundational opportunity to succeed, and it starts by also making sure everybody's connected to the internet at high speed, affordable prices. If you want good healthcare outcomes, if you want good economic outcomes, good educational outcomes for our school children, they got to be connected to the internet. Speaking of healthcare, we've got to keep our rural hospitals open. We got to stop them from shutting down. That'll be a big focus of mine. And then we got to cut costs. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to eliminate the state cell phone tax. Next time you pay your bill, realize you're paying an extra 11% on your cell phone bill to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I'm going to cancel that tax. We're going to help seniors stay in their homes by doubling the property tax rate. And let me tell you something. We know about safe communities and taking on big fights because as your Attorney General, I've locked up 8,200 drug dealers during my time in office. Anybody who brings those poisons into our communities are going to have to deal with us. But here's the thing I also understand. These drug dealers didn't manufacture this crisis. You know who did? The greedy executives in the pharmaceutical company boardrooms. So we took them on too, and we won, and we took $1 billion of their ill-gotten gains and brought it back to Pennsylvania for treatment, because drug addiction is a disease, not a crime. We need to help those who are battling that disease. And folks, I want you to know, for all the big fights we've taken on, Austin and I still have some big fights in us. And the next one comes in 6 days when we defeat Doug Mastriano in this governor's race. And the bottom line is, we don't have a choice here. He's got to be defeated because this guy is dangerous and he is extreme. Austin talked before about how he wants to strip away a woman's freedom, a woman's right to make decisions over her own body. You also need to know that this is a guy who is routinely recruiting white supremacists to be part of his campaign. I came back to Clearfield County to look you in the eye and ask you for your vote, to ask you to sign my bus, to ask you to be part of this campaign, to ask you to be part of this effort. At the same time I'm doing that, this guy is the only candidate in the nation actively recruiting white supremacists to be part of his campaign on the same website that was used by the killer who went into the Tree of Life synagogue 4 years ago and murdered 11 people while they worshiped. Think about this guy. This is a guy who is routinely trying to divide us, to bring darkness over the light here in our Commonwealth. This is a guy who, if you don't think like him and look like him and pray like him and vote like him, then you don't count in Doug Mastriano's Pennsylvania. You know how I know that? Because I know where he was on January 6th. Yeah. And you do too. Yeah. He was in our nation's capital not to hear a speech, not to rally. He was there that day because he was trying to stop your vote from being counted. Your commissioner talked about making sure here in Clearfield County your votes get counted, and they will be. And then they get certified in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but then your vote has to be read across the desk in the U.S. House of Representatives in order for it to count finally in a presidential race. That's what they were doing on January 6th. He went there because he didn't want your will to be reflected in the outcome of this election. And he told us the next time he's going to do the same thing. Because he said as governor, his plan is to decertify certain voting machines in the Commonwealth. Well, folks, he's going to decertify the machines that have a result he doesn't like. And that is not how our democracy works. And that is not what freedom is all about. And it's on us to defend both of those things right now. This guy loves to talk a good game about freedom. Let me tell you, it's not freedom to tell women what they're allowed to do with their bodies. That's not freedom. It's not freedom, IBW, to say you can work a 40-hour work week, but you can't be a member of a union. That's not freedom. No. It's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read. That's not freedom. And it sure as hell isn't freedom to say you can go vote, but he's going to pick the winner. That's not freedom. Real freedom comes when we invest in that young child and Du Bois and give them a quality education and make sure they grow up in a safe community. We teach them how to be a welder in the VOTEC program in the 11th grade and put them in a union apprenticeship program and let them start a small business and hire a bunch of folks who were going to have a shop before, but now because we believed in them and invested in them, we gave them a chance to succeed. That person grows up to marry the person that he loves and worship where he wants. Raise a family in a comfortable community because we believed in them and gave them a shot. That's what real freedom looks like. And that is what is on the ballot in 6 days. The opportunity to claim that real freedom, to defend our democracy, to turn away the darkness and instead create opportunity for all. Listen, my name may be on the ballot, but it's your rights and your future that's on the line right now. And what I need from you over these next 6 days, what Austin needs from you over these next 6 days, is for you not just to vote for us, but to believe in this cause and to use the power of your voice to get people to turn out and to make a difference here. There's a reason why we brought this bus to Clearfield County, because this community matters. Because the pragmatism in this community, the passion in this community needs to be heard on election day. And so what I ask of you over these next 6 days is, when you leave here today, take a lawn sign with you. Plant it on your lawn. And by the way, take 2. When they steal one, you're going to need a backup. Okay? Take 2 lawn signs, put them on your lawn, and let people here in Clearfield County know that they have company. Have the quiet conversation when you're walking out of church this Sunday, at the checkout counter, at the club, wherever you are. Have those quiet conversations and let people know what's at stake. You'll be surprised at how much company you have around here, even in a place like Clearfield County. I'm so encouraged by the crowd that we have turned out here, but I also know there's a whole bunch of other people that wanted to be here, but maybe didn't quite feel brave enough to show up. Help them find that bravery inside of them by having that conversation with them. And when you go home today, after you sign my bus, and you have that ballot sitting on your kitchen table, fill the damn thing out already. I don't know what you're waiting for, okay? Circle in the names, okay? Hit Fetterman, hit Shapiro, hit everybody on there. And then put it in the secrecy envelope. Put it in the secrecy envelope. Put it in the outer envelope. Sign the back. Put today's date. And send that thing back. There's no excuse for it still sitting in your house. And if you plan to vote in person on November 8th, as Lori and I do, make your plans tonight. Think about when you're going to go. Is it before work? Is it after work? Is it with the kids, without the kids? Know when you're going to go. Know where your polling place is and get there. Don't let anything interfere with you casting your ballot. Listen, if you can just work hard for me and Austin over these next 6 days, then you can trust we're going to be working hard for you for the next 4 years as your governor and lieutenant governor. So here's my final ask of you. Join us in getting off the sidelines and in the game. Cast your ballot. Realize the power in your voice. And finally, grab a Sharpie and sign my bus. Thank you all very, very much. We appreciate you. Thank you.